The key objectives that often people refer to in project failure is time, cost and quality. However, that's not all of it. There's so much more. The John Grill Centre exists because of the vision of John Grill from Worley Parsons. John's challenge was to actually improve the capability here in Australia, but he sees it as a global issue as well, and he sees project leadership as one of the biggest challenges. How well was the project resource managed? Well, you can listen, certain people say you're probably pretty poorly in that you hear of huge overruns. Unfortunately, that doesn't tell the full story. At the time of the resource boom, all the big players there were trying to increase their capacity to meet the Chinese market. They did that very successfully in very accelerated schedules. So from a trade-off between schedule and cost, they achieved it very well in terms of schedule, but in terms of cost, there was ultimately a spin-off of cost. The challenge for the mining sector boom is there's a legacy that's been left behind of a hyperinflation in an environment, particularly in West Australia, of poor productivity, largely because of that hyperinflation, of a regulatory authority that's just stops a lot of projects moving, and then of industrial relations issues. One of the biggest problems for infrastructure to be able to successfully implement it is to be able to fund it. And there lies a unique partnership that's got to be constructed between the governments who want this infrastructure to be put in place, and really the corporate sector who's probably going to have to pay for it. Common lessons across any organisation is critical, and a key thing to see them as a learning organisation to benefit from it. So the fact that ANZ has got a number of projects over its organisation at one time, they should share those. They should share the lessons that they capture. They should share the learning. In fact, they should create a framework that formalises that learning within their organisation. That's the way you'll all benefit across it. And I respect that business units operate and are held accountable for their EBITDA, so therefore they're very much in a silo, but clearly projects that can be enterprise-wide, particularly if they've got a strategic context to them, must be shared across the entire group. With technology, it's changing almost faster than the project can lock down scope. And any good project manager will tell you that the key thing to actually get a good project is to lock down and freeze the scope. As technology changes, you have to be aware of what is technology creep versus what is technology revolution, and chase the revolution, not the creep, because you're forever chasing creep. Project management is about understanding what you've got to do, a disciplined approach to applying it, and creating effective teams, in fact capability to actually implement that. So it's the essential element. Educate people about project leadership, where you're talking about the creation of effective teams, where you're talking about the alignment of stakeholders, the ability to actually be nimble and change and preserve value. These are great challenges that often are very difficult to deal with, because you're dealing with the intangible as opposed to the tangible scope that most people associate project management with.